Hi and welcome back. I'm Circus is my name, and in this video tutorial we're going to be talking about induction motors. Yes, in my last video, I'm going to say it again. In my last video, I actually talked about AC motors, covering the induction AC motor. I was not covering the induction AC motor. I actually only explained the general explanation of how AC motor actually works, and also a little bit on synchronous AC motor, synchronous type of motor, because I actually said there are two types of AC motor: induction AC motor and a synchronous AC motor. So in this video tutorial, we're going to be focusing on induction AC motor. What is induction AC motor, and also some ton of tips that I did not share in my first AC motor video. If you look at the first AC motor video title, you're going to see I actually said the simple explanation, like the intro. That's not the main full theory. You need to watch this video so that you can get the full breakdown tutorial. And when I watched the first AC motor video, I kind of was still beating around the bush around DC motor explanation. So in this video, we're going to swap that and we're going to focus on many AC motor theory. That was just the intro. This is the main topic, and let's dive in. Now, what is AC motor? I actually said that in my first video, but you just get the point. What is AC motor? Alternating current, AC motor. Now, you really need to watch my AC video, my alternating video, which actually explain what is actually AC. You need to understand AC before you go into understanding AC motor, which is very important. You can go check out that video right here and come back when you're done with that video so that you can get the full breakdown tutorial on what I'm actually saying on AC motors. You really need to get it. All right, now what is AC motor? Now, AC motor as a form, alternating current, is actually a type of motor which is used in different gadgets. You can find it in pumps, you can find it in some kind of drones and stuff like that, because they are durable and they last more than the DC motor, because DC motor actually have brushes and commutators, thereby make it to wear out in a period of time. But AC motor, on the other hand, does not have brushes, does not have commutators, because AC motor already alternate. You should get that in your head when watching my AC motor video completely. But anyways, that is the one theory we should need to know. AC motor doesn't have brush, the AC motor doesn't have commutators. It only it's just a copper wire, the stator, and also the casing and stuff like that. But DC motor, in the other hand, have those kind of things that actually make it to kind of wear out in a while. You can see that I'm actually talking very, very slow because I want you guys to understand what I'm saying. I see that though talking too much fast is not really getting you to the point, and you're kind of losing it in the video. So this video is going to be slow and you're going to get all the points. Theory. Now, the quick theory to understand about AC motor was to differentiate between DC motor and AC motor is that what you really need to do is that DC motor is only powered by direct current DC, while AC motor is powered by AC, alternating current AC. So you can power direct, you can use DC to power an AC motor, it won't function, and you cannot use it AC power supply to power a DC motor, it won't function. So AC motor is only alternating current that it needs to power on and stuff like that. Let's go into more details. Now, what is induction motor? Yeah, induction motor, that is the main theory and that is the main topic, and that's why you click this video. Now, induction motor, also called as synchronous motor, is actually a motor that actually converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. Yes, you really need to put in electrical current into the motor for the motor to spin. So yes, every motor needs electrical energy which is feed into it for it to actually spin. So yes, it actually turns electrical energy to mechanical energy, and that is one thing which you need to know. And now the rotor actually doesn't spin as the magnetic field is actually induced into it. It spins slower than the magnetic field is induced to it. That is one theory which you need to know. We are going to explain more on that, but I just want to pin that right there. Now, let's explain the part which are actually inside of this induction motor and how does it actually spin. The part which is actually available, the part which actually makes it work, and everything which you need to know. The first thing which you need to know is that there's a stator. Now, I actually said that the motor actually have a stator, a rotor, and actually a casing. Yeah, the key which actually protects the motor from getting disassembled and stuff like that. Now, let's explain the rotor. Now, the rotor is actually kind of a squirrel cage. I don't know if you have seen it before, but yes, I have seen it before. It's actually a squirrel cage. You can see the video right here. The photo right here. You can see it's actually a squirrel cage. It is the most common type, which is actually found in most AC motors, most AC induction motors. But yes, this is the way the cage is. It's not actually a copper wire. The rotor is just a big used metallic conductive metallic. It's either some kind of aluminium or some kind of copper, but mostly aluminium. And you can see those excessive bars looking like wheels. These bars will play a good role in later in the video, so let's just keep talking. Anyways, these bars, you can see it right here. These bars is actually what makes the rotor up, and just the bars, just the conductive bars, not the copper wire stuff like that. So this is the rotor, and this is actually what spins. Now, talking about the stator is not a permanent magnet, which is kind of in DC motor format. As I actually said in my old video, I actually said the stator can be a permanent magnet. That's the way I actually explained it. But when I go deeper in my searching and research, I actually found out that the stator is not a permanent magnet. The stator is mainly a winded copper wire. Thousands of copper wires are actually winded to actually form as permanent magnet. It's kind of, you gotta see permanent magnets in most brushless DC motors and also DC motors, but in this induction motor, you kind of you can't find permanent magnet right there. They just inbuilt or winded a lot of copper wire, which is actually going to serve as the magnet. But this one is actually electromagnet. You need to put power into it for you to create the magnetic field. Now, this copper wire is actually winded at the side, and they're actually stationary. That is why it's called stator. It's actually stationary something. It does not move. This copper wire is actually what enables the motor to spin. But we are going to be explaining how it works soon. Now, the moment you're all waiting for, how does it actually work? Now, if you find out in my other video, I actually explained how the AC motor actually works, but I was still kind of getting around the push around DC motor working function principle. I actually said that it has permanent magnet, which you don't have, and I actually said it has brush and stuff. It does not have commutator, which is the correct one, but the main point which I actually focused on that video was just the DC brushless motor. That is what I really explained very good about AC motor in that aspect. But in this video, we're going to explain the main point on AC motors and in the induction motors as important. Now, how does it work? Now, when you input voltage, you don't input voltage into the rotor. That is the first thing which you need to know. The rotor, I actually said earlier, the rotor is actually a conductive bar. It's made of conductive bars, like a wheel, like an excessive wheel. It's kind of a squirrel cage. The way a squirrel cage actually looks like is not a copper wire or winded copper wire or winded aluminum copper wire on here. It's actually conductive bars, and it's not connected to anything. That rotor is not what is connected to the battery. What's connected to your power supply or your battery is actually the stator. The stator, which consists of thousands of windings, is actually what is connected to your power supply. So when you input your AC voltage into this AC motor, this copper wire actually changed to electromagnet. You know, as I actually said in my DC motor explanation video, that if you put in voltage into a conductor, the conductor starts generating magnetic field. Thereby, it turns to a magnet. But a permanent magnet is just releasing a magnetic field always, but a conductor, once electricity flows through, it's actually changed to an electromagnet, thereby releasing electromagnetic field. So when you put in voltage into that stator, which is actually inside of the AC induction motor, it actually generates electromagnetic field. That electromagnetic field actually sweeps through the squirrel cage of the rotor. Now, I actually said the squirrel cage, the rotor is actually kind of a squirrel cage, and it's made of conductive bars. It's kind of some kind of aluminum or stuff like that, but it's conductive, and it's kind of have wheels. Those wheels is where the electromagnetic field actually sweeps in, thereby making the rotor to now generating own magnetic field, repelling with the magnetic field which is generated by the stator and causing rotation. In other words, torque. Just a quick recap: when the magnetic field which is generated by the stator is being induced into the rotor, this rotor actually generates a magnetic field, thereby reacting against the stator magnetic field, generating a spinning motion, a mechanical motion, generating a torque which actually makes the rotor to spin. And that is how the induction motor actually works. I guess if you really don't understand me, just let me know in the comment section and I'll answer to you really quickly. So that is the full fundamental on how induction motor actually works. If you really don't understand, I said again, let me know in the comment section and I'll explain it better for you. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. If you want to support my work and you like what I do, you can go check out my Patreon. That'll be the first link in the description. Subscribe to my channel. It really means a lot to me and I appreciate you. And soon we'll be making practical electronic projects. I can't wait, and you can wait to subscribe if you want to catch up. And thank you very much for watching.